What's the best way to find out what my customers really think? Hi, this is Eliot from Workload. In the first part of this two-part video, we're going to learn all about forms by Workload. First, we're going to learn what exactly are forms by Workload, and then secondly, how best to use them. Alright, let's make a form. So we're going to start here at the Workload editor, and we can give our workflow a title, but maybe we'll wait until we decide what actions we want to add to this trigger. So we're going to click inside of our trigger box, and over here on the right side you can see we have several options that are outside of the apps you can search for. And we're going to focus on forms by workload. So I'm going to click there, and the event is going to be a new form submission. I'm going to click continue, and now I'm going to be given all of the options for how I want to design my form. Now I can just do that here in the workload editor. And once we've created a form, then we'll be given a URL to link to that form, and you can send that link out to whoever you want to get form responses from, whether they be new customers, potential clients, members of your team, anybody you want to survey with a form, you can send that link to. So we're just going to make a test form so you get the idea of how it works. So our form title will be, "This is a wonderful test." And the description of this form is going to be, "To see how things work." So for that header, we can decide what font and what size of font we want to use. So we have a drop-down menu of popular fonts to choose from. So we'll do Impact for our header, and we'll use the extra large size font. For our questions, we'll use Helvetica, and we'll use our large size font. And for our responses, we'll use Georgia and our small size font. For our header image, so this could be the URL of an image you have of your company's logo, or whatever image you want to have at the top of your form. I'm going to paste in a surprise that you'll see once we publish our form. For the color, the theme is going to be the highlights to your form. So this can be a more bold color. We'll try sky blue. That's going to be similar to a workload color. And then for the background, you probably want to pick a more subtle color, like one of these whites or grays. And these are all lighter versions of colors, so it's not as bright and dramatic. We'll try light red, because that's another workload color. So now we're going to start adding the questions that you want answers to in your form. You could be asking personal details for a new patient at your doctor's office. It could be a form you want customers to fill out to let them know if their trip to your store was satisfactory. It could be any sort of questions that you want responses for. It could be silly ones like this. What did you have for breakfast? And then you can decide if you want that question to be required. So I'll say yes. And this is going to be a short answer text, so a few words that will describe what you want for breakfast. We'll go ahead and do several different forms of questions so you can see what that's like. So we'll add to, and this question will have a paragraph answer. So, what is the meaning of life? And that will also be required, and we'll say this is a paragraph. So we also can do a checkbox answer. So that would be, are you having fun? Required. This will be checkbox. So then we can add what the options you want them to check for their boxes. So yes, or no. And we'll click add to again. And we'll say this is going to be a multiple choice response. Who is your favorite Ninja Turtle? This one will be optional, so we'll say it's not required. And then we'll give multiple choice. We'll add to for the answers. It can be Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, or Leonardo. Alright, so that's our main page. And then we can add another section if you want to as well. So click on the Add To button. Click to add to a section. So this will be another portion, another page of our form. What time do you go to bed? And then we'll say that is required. And that'll just be a short text answer. Okay. So do you want to have a confirmation page so you can check your responses before you submit them? Do you want to have a results page? Sure, we'll see what that looks like. And we'll click continue. So what we're going to want to do is copy this URL. That's going to lead our customers or clients or whoever you want to fill out the form to our form to fill out. And then we're going to click our test trigger button. And now our trigger is going to wait for a form response. So I'm going to go ahead and paste in this URL. So we have our alligator was the image URL that I added. And then you see we have this light red or kind of pink background. We have our light blue as the highlight color. We have our title in the font we chose. We have the questions in a different font, and then our answers are going to be in a different font as well. So this is a general vibe of how things look. Now if I get here and I'm like, you know what, I don't really like that pink as a background color. What I can do is go back to the workload editor. I can come back up to the event, click continue, and all the details from that form we created are still there. But I can just decide I want to change my background color just to light gray and see how that looks. And then I'm going to click continue again. And then I'm going to recopy this URL because it's not going to be the same. Click our test trigger button. Come back over here. Paste in that new URL. And now I can see with that more neutral color. I think I like that better. And again, I could do the same thing. If I didn't like the font we were using, I could change that to a different font and then come back and see what that looks like. So now we have our form. Let's go ahead and fill it out with some answers so we have a response to work with. So this time we'll say eggs and bacon and cheese and bagel all separately. What is the meaning of life? Competition and vengeance. I spelled vengeance wrong. Vengeance! Are you having fun? No! Nothing is fun. Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Raphael, he's the angry one. What time do you go to bed? What time does the angry person go to bed? 9 sharp. Next, we can review our responses and then submit the form if we're ready. So now you can see we got a response for our trigger. and we have all the details of the answers we gave to our question. So I can click continue. And now I have the option to import those details into different apps. That's how you can build a form by workload right in the workload editor. Stay tuned for part 2 of this video. You can comment on this video with any questions you might have, and make sure to like our post and subscribe to our channel. You can also click here to get more content from Workload about how to make your business practices flow more smoothly. And I'll see you next time.